All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Chris's Sports Corner. Real quick, man. Hope everybody's having a great. What it is today, by the way? Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Whew, the day's starting to run together, man. First of all, I'd like to say thank you everybody for supporting the channel. Really means a lot to me. And if you like the type of content, hit that subscribe button, man. Now I want to talk about something, man, because y'all know me. I like to just put things out there. I like to address things and talk about things, and I like to look at both sides of the fence. You know, I don't like to just jump to conclusion, but I'm curious right now, and I want to know if people feel like I feel. James Harden. All right. Now we know what James Harden is on the court. We know he's one of the most dynamic scorers of all times. He's going to go down in history as that. But is James Harden that bad of a player slash teammate slash person, or is this a smear campaign going on right now? Now let's talk about this, because this is. And I want to play devil advocate. I'm neutral, all right? I don't want to play on no side. I just want to say how I'm looking at this thing. James Harden, before this season, I never heard any of this. Before he wanted out in Houston, I never heard any of this. Like, I never heard James Harden late to meetings. James Harden didn't show up for this. James Harden is a bad teammate. James Harden abuses his power with the Houston. I'm sorry, did anybody? I mean, come on, be honest now. Let's be honest here. I ain't hear none of this, because I've always like James Harden's a scorer, man. Like, I've never heard of this James Harden. Now I'm just saying. Now again, I'm neutral here, but it's ironic all this is coming out now. That, he abused the power with the Rockets. He's pretty much trading players and doing this and playing that. Well, hold on, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's the owner's responsibility. That's the GM responsibility to manage that. If you allow somebody to handpick who they want to handpick and this and get this person, that person, and then you ultimately lose control of your franchise, then that's your fault. That's your fault, because he's a well-paid player, not well-paid GM. It's that simple. So now, first of all, I'm a Lakers fan. It ain't no hiding it. And I know someone will say, well, hey, LeBron do it all the time. Yeah, I'm quite sure. But see, that's the thing. I think that all players are, hey, would this guy go good with you? What you think about this? What you think about this move? Ultimately, it's that team's decision. Now, at the same time, I figure like that's how you think the Clippers are gonna bring somebody in without conferring with Kawhi? You think the Rockets are gonna bring somebody in without referring to James Harden? The Lakers gonna bring somebody in without referring to LeBron James? Or the Bucks gonna bring someone in without referring to Giannis? No, it gotta be a team effort. But the issue here is, all of a sudden is now being painted as James Harden is like this. He's this guy. Excuse me here. He's this guy who is just he's bad, and he abused his power. And I don't know about that. If he asks you to trade for somebody, you got the right to say no. If you choose not to say no, then that's your fault. That literally is your fault if you chose not to say no. Now, on the other side of the coin, now when you hear about the other stuff, okay, first of all, going to a event part, whatever it was, that involved exotic dancers. Those are dancers. They have a job. They have a title. Don't just label them as strippers. But going to this event with the exotic dancers and all of that, and going to a party with the artist, one of my favorite young artists, Lil Baby, and being in that environment, knowing you're still an NBA player and being negligent, that's on James Harden. James Harden got to wear that one. That is wrong, and that's not, because for one, that's not leadership. That's not gonna, even if you're doing it now because you want to leave. But what is the option to the other team? What is the other team going? The team that may be interested, like, I don't know if we want to do that. Yeah, this guy here, man. So even when you want to be out and you want to get out, you gotta literally say, all right, I know I want out. I don't want to be. You can make that very known, but don't do stuff to affect games and affect your availability, because ultimately, the longer this go on, the more it hurts James Harden. It's just what it is. The more and more this go on, the more and more it hurts James Harden, from the simple fact that the more this drag out and they miss games and him being in bad environments, and it only make teams, as the season started to go, the team started getting their rhythm. You're like, ooh, I don't know if I want that in my locker room. Because the picture's painted now is Houston has treated James Harden like a baby. They gave him everything he wanted. He pretty much can do whatever he want to do, show up to meetings when he want to. That's on James Harden. That's on James Harden. If you don't show up to meetings on time to a point where someone who consider one of your best friends, also your teammate, like, start the meeting without him, if he ain't here, he ain't here, then, but these things was never said before until now when he want out. So is it a little bit of some smearing of his name out there? Yeah. And the Houston Rockets do not care, because, hey, you want to leave us anyway. And if we're gonna jack the price up, and we're gonna lower your we're gonna jack the price up and then lower your value. So at that point, it's like, you might as well stick it out here, my man. Might as well make it work, because you ain't going nowhere. Because if we don't get what we want, you ain't going nowhere. And now we've lowered your value to a point that we may not never get what we want, because they hear about all this going on. I don't know. I think it's a little bit of all this playing in. James Harden holds a deep responsibility in his negligence and the things that he's doing, and throwing a basketball player at a person. Stop it. Stop. That's at a teammate. That's ridiculous. Stop. All right. Stop. Like, yeah, you throw it at the right person. All right. Like, I can get you a 2-piece with other people. Like, be careful. All right, like, you may be mad at the organization, but doing stuff like that, that's abusing your power or whatever. Even though, historically we've been saying that players have always, certain players, not throwing names out, have always been a little extra in practice and all of that. But at the same time, man, James Harden, you don't want this to be your legacy, big guy. You don't want your legacy to be James Harden, he scored, but he never wanted to come to practice. He not they never want to compare, but he lates the meeting. He do it at his own thing. He want to run the franchise, and then when you don't give him what he wants, he wants out. We'll see, man. With that being said, guys, let me know what y'all think down in the comments, man. Is this a smear campaign or James Harden act for this? With that being said, please like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, man, you guys be great.